It's been a good couple of years for you. Dennis truly believes that great communication and presentation skills are the most important assets that an individual can possess. And certainly in your business, Dennis, I would believe that that is very, very true. Now, exclusively for the Westmount Rotary Club today, we're going to have a demonstration, basically a short version of what a regular Toastmaster meeting is like. So I will thank you to join me in welcoming Dennis Chau. Dennis, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Jim, for this nice introduction. First, I would like to thank Jim and Glenn to coordinate that meeting, allowing the Westmount Toastmaster Clubs to have a good 45, 55 at the Westmount Rotary Club. But more precisely, on behalf of the Westmount Toastmaster Club members, I would like to thank a gentleman, Mr. Malcolm McRae, who is also part of the Westmount Toastmaster Club family members. And he is like our ambassador. He's like our official representative who connected both nonprofit organizations, the Westmount Rotary and the Toastmaster Clubs. Malcolm, can you share and tell us what is the greatest benefit you gain from your experience in the Westmount Toastmaster Club? Can you unmute yourself?
Yes, thank you, Dennis. It was a bit unexpected. I didn't know I was going to be speaking. But I do like the fact that Toastmasters gives an opportunity to practice public speaking and speaking in front of a group of people, which is really, to my mind, that is its modus operandi, is to teach people how to do this and to give them practice in doing this. I find this skill is something that is also, well, it's important in everyday life, and it's especially important for groups such as Rotary, which basically are searching out benefactors and trying to get services done. And so the skill of public speaking is an essential element.
All right, thank you very much for sharing, Malcolm. I really appreciate it. Well, as Jim mentioned, this afternoon, we're going to present a short version, a demonstration on how Toastmaster meeting is conducted. And of course, within 45 minutes, that doesn't give us enough time to conduct a full session, but enough to give us to present some of the juicy part of the meeting. But just before we start, let me just quickly go with a toast, because Toastmaster without a toast, then it's not a Toastmaster. So please, I would like fellow Toastmaster and most welcome guests, please raise your glass, as I would like to propose a toast to a group of people. This group not only took massive action every single week to attend meetups and provided tremendous value, they're also committed to see the result, the growth of each and everyone. They don't make excuses, and they do whatever it takes to help each members to move towards their dreams. Many members feel the fear, but they do it anyway to achieve their goal. So they can build that foundation, that discover the best version of who they want to become. So please join me in the toast to all of us. To all of us.
To all of us.
All right. So
could we do that again? I enjoyed that part.
Please let me present the agenda for this afternoon. So we will have two amazing speakers. It will be two speeches, and then we'll have a table topic session where people will have, if you want to participate, please do so, just raise your hand. But just before we start, I want to introduce our first speaker. He will have like 5 to 7 minutes to do his presentation. So He joined the Westmount Toastmasters clubs in March 2018. He is an amazing storyteller, a champion who won many speaking awards. With outstanding leadership skill, he's the general manager of one of the most fast-growing restaurant chains in Montreal, Mandy's. He's our former president of the Westmount Toastmaster Club. Could you please help me welcome Mr. Roberto Dawe?
Thank you, Dennis, for the kind introduction. This afternoon, I will be presenting to you one of the speeches that I do for storytelling. And the title is Cilantro. I love smells. I really believe that smells is one of the senses that imprint in our memory more than the other ones. Think about it for a second. Think about the smell of your first new car. Think about the smell of your room. Or think about the smell of the person that you love the most. My fellow friends, I would like to tell you a story about how the smell of cilantro marked my life. I come from a city called Puebla in Mexico. And Puebla is known for having some of the most beautiful Catholic churches in Latin America. My family was known for never attending those churches. I believe that my family was really good at imprinting some good values now without being religious. And I'm here to explain you why. One of my family traditions was market day. Saturday, 6 o'clock in the morning, would always start the same way. With my mom knocking at my door. Pa, 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 pa. Roberto, it's time to wake up. It's late. Come on, we have to get going. I would get up. Couldn't believe this was about to start again. It's 6 o'clock and she's ready and she wants to go and she will be there waiting for me in the car, ready to cruise the city to get right into that parking lot. Market. Have you been to a Mexican market? If you haven't, I'd like to tell you something you've been missing out. These places, there are thousands and thousands of square feet of pure sensational experiences. Yes, you will get there and you will see all the colors and the beautiful displays of fruits and vegetables that the vendors will get ready. You will listen to the people going around the aisles, dos por 10, dos por 10, selling their products. You would taste those fresh corn tortillas with samples of cheese that they will be offered on the aisles. You will feel some random stray dog crossing your legs trying to find a bone. And you would smell many things. But among all those smells, the one that I remember the most was cilantro. The vendors would use cilantro to scare the flies. Yes, to scare the flies. They would go around the aisles, swaying bunches of cilantro like priests in a Catholic procession. My job at the market was tough, but simple. I was to carry the bags with the groceries for my mom wherever she was going, following her until the chores were done. Every time she would approach a vendor, it would go the same way. Good morning. I'd like to have 2 bunches of bananas and a kilo of mangoes, please. How much would that be? Well, that would be 20 pesos. 20 pesos? Last week I was here and I got all of this for 15. Well, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to pass on your offer. No. Wait. It's okay. You're a good customer of mine. We're going to get it done for 15 like last week, but I'll expect you here next week, right? Okay, thank you very much. I'll take the deal. We will do this over and over. and we would finally get home. I will be tired of carrying those bags all over the market. I'll be ready to put them down and ask my Mom, I'm so hungry. Can we please have some breakfast? Roberto? Breakfast? What are you talking about? You have not earned your breakfast yet. You have not earned it. I would still have to take all the old groceries out of the shelf, clean them before putting in the new groceries and making sure that everything was organized. And while I was doing all that, my mom, she would be right beside the stove, cooking some of the most amazing foods that I have ever tasted in my life. I'll tell you a cooking secret. You know which one is the best seasoning? The best seasoning is hunger. When you're hungry, everything tastes amazing. We would sit down on the table and we will finish this Saturday ceremony, sharing our meal and telling our stories with the family. I really remember all of these things with a lot of love, because this is the way that my mother taught me different lessons that have helped me in life. She taught me that you have to wake up early in the morning if you want to be the one having the best picks at the market. She taught me that nothing feels better than knowing that you have earned your seat at the table. She taught me that in life, you have to negotiate, or else you're always going to get the worst deal. That is why today, every time that I'm walking around and I get to smell some cilantro, I can only think, thank you, Mom. Thank you. That's all, friends.
Thank you, Roberto. Thank you for this amazing story. I would like to call an evaluator to evaluate quickly the speech that Roberto just made for all of us. Hepta, would you be available to give an evaluation for our friend Roberto? You can unmute yourself, please. Please unmute yourself.
Sorry about that. Mr. Chairman, Rotary Club members, fellow Toastmasters, and especially to you, Roberto. That was all consuming. You are an excellent Toastmaster, an excellent storyteller. From the beginning, you grabbed my attention. You talked about philanthropy, and what you did, you used this spice as an excellent prop. You incorporated it from the beginning to the middle to the conclusion. This was a story about you traveling with your mom to the market. But yes, one thing that was very effective was that smell of cilantro that has stayed with you your entire life. And so you captivated us with the stories of your of going to the market with your mother. One of the things I liked about you, it's your voice. You have that voice that is very communicative and pulls us into the story. Also, you complemented your storytelling with the props, with the bag. I could see you there. I was there with you in that market, and I had pity on you with probably your small frame, week after week, joining your mother and carrying that heavy bag with you. Then your eye contact, your voice variations, that all of these come together and complement a speech. And so can I think of anything to improve? Maybe just probably a few pauses here and there, but certainly not only did you capture my attention, but you captured my heart. Congratulations. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Madam Evaluator. Thank you, EPTA. All right, let's move on to our second speaker. He's an active member of 3 Toastmaster clubs, the Champlain Valley in Plattsburgh, the Advanced Toastmaster Club in Albany, and of course, the Westmount Toastmaster Club in Westmount. He holds an executive position in our club as the VP Mentorship. He's very knowledgeable. He helps speakers to make outstanding presentation by focusing on the part of the gesture and voice modulation. Would you please help me welcome our next speaker, the coach, Mr. Joseph Sommer.
There you go, Joseph.
Am I clear, or do I have a white square in front of me? Am I unmuted?
You're okay, Joseph.
Okay, I'll continue like this. Thank you very much for that rousing introduction, Dennis. The speech that I'm going to give right now is a standard entertainment speech that I do on the road, various clubs, and I hope it entertains you. It's certainly not a depressing speech, and it's called The Eighth Wonder of the World. How many people watching me have ever heard of a line from this poem? I think that I shall never see a poem as lovely as a tree. Good. It's amazing how people travel worldwide to see feats of nature, be it Mount Everest, be it Niagara Falls or the Sahara Desert. You know, we often quote from the Bible this line, "What hath God wrought?" But rarely do we hear man say, "What hath man wrought?" in the name of God. We do have 7 wonders of the world. The Eiffel Tower for one, the Leaning Tower of Pisa another, the Great Wall of China. But Dennis, fellow Toastmasters, most welcome Rotary members, I'm actually your guest today. I'm of the opinion that there's an 8th wonder of the world. Yes, an 8th wonder. Every time I go to the United States, tears come out of my eyes. My heart skips a beat and chills go down my spine every time I see these black and white signs that read Saks Fifth Avenue. Saks Fifth Avenue. Every time I go into a Saks Fifth Avenue, in particular the main store on 48th and 5th in Manhattan, I feel closer to God. Let me explain why. As I enter the store, I am immediately greeted by these gorgeous crystal chandeliers hanging from the ceiling, the beautiful ornate pattern of tiles decorating the floor, and this waft of perfume that immediately seizes me. And as I make a cursory exploration of the ground floor, going in and out of aisles, I try to imagine that we're actually in North American history class, where we studied explorers such as Jacques Cartier, Samuel de Champlain, Lewis and Clark. And I try to think of how these explorers would think themselves of these isles as being tributaries of important rivers. And as I cruise in and out of tributaries, wondering where to beach my ship, wondering what souvenirs to bring to my native Canada with me, suddenly in front of me in one tributary, I see a sign that says, "Today only, men's clothing clearance 50% off." And instead of beaching my ship, I jump ship. And just like a dog plows through a fresh bowl of meat, in just a few seconds, I plow through that rack of clothing. And moments later, just like the natives are exchanging hemp and maize and gold for knives, shovels, and iron goods with the settlers, I'm exchanging my credit card with the salesman for new trousers, new sweaters and shirts, and I am a very, very happy man. And then it is off to the tributary of men's suits, where I hope to find an Armani or a Versace on sale. And lo and behold, in front of me, I see this Perry Ellis suit for 30% off. I try it on. It is by no means a good fit whatsoever. But getting 30% off at Saks Fifth Avenue is more important than the suit itself. And even if I have to get it tailored elsewhere to fit me, at least I can tell all my friends that I bought the suit at Saks Fifth Avenue. So in a few moments, I hand over my credit card and I am $600 poorer. And then it is off to my favorite tributary of the lot, that of the perfumes, where on display I see all these gorgeous bottles of worldly perfumes, and my olfactory senses are on fire. I call my girlfriend, Joanne. Joanne, I'm at Saks in the perfume department. Oh, can you buy me a bottle of Jo Malone Amber Lavender and bring home lots and lots of samples? I acquiesce to her demand, but I realize I have to get out of this source soon. Otherwise, I'll soon be indebted to the Bank of Montreal for my overcharged credit card. However, no trip to Saks Fifth Avenue would be complete without a visit to the men's room. Yes, I said the men's room, where one can luxuriate in relieving themselves in latrines made of marble. Latrines made of marble, that's real luxury. I have to see this. I enter the men's room, and right behind me on the wall, I see a mural of the Garden of Eden. There's Adam, there's Eve, there's a tree, and there's this snake lurking in the branches. He's looking at me. I don't like that. So I turn around, I do my thing in the latrine, and all of a sudden the sound system from above starts blasting out, hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. And I think to myself, wow, to relieve myself and be able to hear Handel's Messiah all at the same time, I must be in the Garden of Eden. But when I go and wash my hands in the lavabo, I suddenly realize that in Adam and Eve's time, there was no such thing as toilets or washrooms. With that disappointing thought in mind, I exit. And as I make my way towards the exit of the store with all my belongings in hand, I have these saddening thoughts. It'll be months before I will be able to visit this paradise of a store again. And as I walk out the store and mosey down Fifth Avenue with my belongings in hand, I try to contemplate all the beautiful things that I've seen in the past hours. Shirts, trousers, sweaters, suits, perfumes, the Garden of Eden, Adam, Eve, and a tree that looks at God all day, that lifts its sleepy arms to pray. Poems are made by fools like me, but only God can create. Saks Fifth Avenue. Thank you.
Wow, thank you very much, Joseph, for sharing that story. Wow, Ekta, our evaluator, would you please give an evaluation for our good friend, Joseph?
Certainly, Mr. Chairman. Ladies and gentlemen, and especially to you, Joseph, you are an excellent tour guide. What you did was so special. You took us on a trip to Saks Fifth Avenue. And if there's anyone in this audience who has never been there before, today you took us there. You are the consummate tour guide. And I really, really liked it. I liked your approach. You talked about the 7 wonders of the world. You engaged us with your question. And then you said, no, there is another one. And you named it. It's Saks Fifth Avenue. Then you took us to Saks Fifth Avenue. And what I really liked is the vocabulary that you used here. You used the word tributaries to describe the various aisles that you would navigate. Joseph, I love your excitement. I love specific words that you employ to create imagery. The imagery in this speech is so rich. My olfactic senses are on fire. That's excellent. And then how did you conclude? After you've been to Saks Fifth Avenue, after you've taken us there, after you have spent your credit card, you ended with a poetic stance. That was so impressive. That was so wonderful. What is really great about your speech is that you were able to tie in a title, an introduction, the body, and the conclusion. You created a wonderful gift and gave it to your audience. If we have never been to Saks Fifth Avenue before, we were there today. I love your voice projection. I like the idea that you had fun with your speech because you were able to make yourself so vulnerable and said, I don't care, I want to sing. And you did put that song inside of your speech, which made it so interesting. If I were to say anything, I would just say Toastmasters a little bit finicky about just using this one finger to point. We tend to use the open arm. And so that's something that you might want to work on. Other than that, I was totally impressed. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, EPTA. Thank you, Madam Evaluator, for this evaluation. I really appreciate it. And I believe that the people in the audience also appreciate your evaluation. As for the next session, I would like to, well, it will be a table topic session. I will allow my good friend to explain a little bit about, for people who don't know about table topics. So please, well, that person joined the Westmount Toastmaster Club in January 2020, last year. He holds an executive position in our club as the VP Education. I would like to qualify that gentleman as a go-giver with his exceptional kindness for providing value and helping each and every members in our club. He's very analytical, but always ready to implement something new. Would you please help me welcome our table topics master, Mr. Charles Albo.
Thank you so much, Dennis, for that very warm introduction. Good day, dear Rotarians and fellow Toastmasters. It's such a pleasure to be here today. There are definitely a lot in common between the Rotary and Toastmasters, and I find it amazing that we're having this joint meeting. Thank you for receiving us today. I will explain to you a little bit what table topics is. This is that part of the meeting where we try to involve the people that have just been sitting back, listening, and enjoying. So it is that time where I will challenge you and ask you some questions, and you will then have to improvise on these questions. You will then have receive a quick evaluation by one of our Toastmasters. So I would like first to ask, is there anyone that would not like to participate? Raise your hand, jump and scream. No, everyone would like to participate. That's amazing. Perfect. So I will just start very simply by asking a question to one of our fellow Toastmasters so that you get a little bit of an idea of how to answer the question. We won't time the answers this time, but usually we try to keep it between 1 and 2 minutes. So here, usually we also have a theme of our meeting, but since we don't have any theme for this meeting, I have a broad set of questions for you, which will be either humorous, more serious, maybe a little bit political, we'll see. Let's start with our first question. Question 1. You are driving down to the countryside for the weekend after a long week of hard work. You finally arrive at your cottage and notice that the door is open. What happens next? Hannah.
Happens next, and voila, I saw Justin Trudeau and Trump and Donald Trump together talking. this is a storytelling, right? So I saw Justin Trudeau and Donald Trump talking, and they're engaging in peace talks. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
So I put you on speakers, and I opened the door and I saw Donald Trump and Justin Trudeau. I went for the Prime Minister and I said, "Sir, can I have an autograph?" And he said yes, and I took a selfie with them. That's my story.
Thank you, Anna. That was a very challenging story. Storytelling is always difficult, especially when we put you on the spot like this. Olga, would you care to give a little evaluation to Hannah? Olga, are you with us?
Yes. Mr. Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters, and dear fellow Rotarians, and especially you, Hannah. That was a good start. Those two characters are in the news all the time, but I would have addressed, there are people in this audience, and you have to be gracious, please. And we teach that at Toastmasters. So you address the people that are there, and your first person is the Table Topics Master. You must address him. Then you go into your story. And your story could have gone on. You could have explained, you know, what you think about these two fellows and how popular they are. You could have mentioned all kinds of things because there is so much in the news that our brains are just full of these guys. And I, in conclusion, agree that you have a beautiful facial expression. You're always smiling, and you should try again. Mr. Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Olga, for that wonderful evaluation. Our next question. Please, dear Rotarians, pay attention because this one may fall on one of you. Drum roll. Winston Churchill famously said, "We make a living by what we get, but we make a life with what we give." How does this resonate with your personal experience? Susan, would you like to tackle this one? I will repeat the question if you need a little help. Winston Churchill famously said, "We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give." How does this resonate with your personal experience? Susan.
Fellow Rotarians and invited guests, I would say that as a Rotarian, and with the motto of service above self, that quote is completely apt. Churchill had many of them, and this one I'm sure is near and dear to Rotarians. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Susan. Joseph, would you like to evaluate Susan?
Would you give the opportunity to someone who hasn't spoken yet? Charles, okay?
Certainly, but I would like one of our fellow Toastmasters to provide an evaluation since we follow a specific format. Okay. Otherwise, I could call on Chris.
Call on Chris.
You would like me to make an evaluation?
Certainly.
Very good. Susan, on being introduced to an unfamiliar medium, I presume you held up very well. You applied the premise that was presented to you to your own group, and it fit very well. I think you could have expounded a little further and gone into the various branches of your discussion to the advantage of all, because it seems to me that you don't lack for vocabulary or the ability to express yourself. You, if I may be so presumptuous, cut yourself short a little bit there. In fact, you maybe didn't even make the minute mark, which is sort of the early cutoff for you to be qualified. However, all of that being said, they didn't read to you the rules and regulations. you did remarkably well on short notice. But think about it, come and join one of our virtual meetings at some time in the future and see how much more talent there is hidden in the crevices of your mind that you think, when you think back on today, you think, oh, geez, yeah, and I could have said this and that and the other. You fell a little short because you're like the person who first took a tennis racket and tried to play tennis, and you're looking at the people at Wimbledon or Roland Garros. So as a starting test of public speaking, I presume, you did remarkably well. You were cool, you didn't lose your aplomb, and you looked around in the audience to direct your gaze and your influence at the various people in the audience. So well done for a first time out.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chris, and congratulations to Susan. You were the first Rotarian to be put on the spot, and you responded. Wonderful. Our next question, a very serious one. Would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or 1 horse-sized duck? Sri, would you like to answer that question?
Okay, it's an interesting question. You have put it across to me. I think I would fight all the horses, and I would probably, use 1,000,000 hands. I would suddenly discover myself I have, and I will use all these hands to fight all of them, and I would probably defeat as many as possible. I won't say all of them, but as many as possible. And I will come out anyway as a winner. I think that's what I would want to do. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sri, for answering that question. Roberto, would you like to evaluate Sri?
With pleasure, Charles. Sri, that was a challenging question. I was listening to the question and I was thinking to myself, how would I reply that? So I really would like to congratulate you for rolling in with it and just filling in the question. You came out very sincerely when your answer was out there. I would rather fight all the horses, and you went in with it. I think for public speaking, the great thing that you have, it's the way you present yourself. You have a beautiful smile, you have a beautiful voice that portrays. I will leverage that in every speech. And for improvement, sometimes in Toastmasters, what we try to reach at the table topics, we always like to give more examples about why are we doing our answer. We give a title, a main idea of our story, and then we give 2 to 3 examples of it to bring it to a conclusion. So maybe developing more the body of it would give more body to that whole 1-minute speech that you did. Sri, I will definitely look forward to see you in a Toastmaster meeting. So Charles.
Thank you very much, Roberto, for your evaluation. Mr. Chairman, do we have time for another question or 2?
Mr. Table Topic Master, let's do a last final one.
One last question, certainly. This question will be a little bit of a debate. Is it more ethical to purchase local or foreign goods? Tom Burpee, would you like to answer that question? Is Tom still in the meeting?
Tom, you want to unmute yourself? I dare you.
I think Tom is gone.
Yes, I think he is gone. Nadia, would you like to answer the same question? Is it more ethical to purchase local or foreign goods? Oh, my backup is also gone. All right. Hepta, would you like to answer that question? Is it more ethical to purchase local or foreign goods?
Mr. Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters, fellow Rotarian, certainly, I think it's more ethical to purchase local made. For one, I believe in supporting the local companies because this is how we promote good consumerism. By supporting local made, we are supporting companies, we're supporting the workforce. And I believe it is ethical, while it might be very engaging, might be very interesting to buy goods that are foreign made, because many times psychologically we think the grass is greener on the other side, or because a product that comes from abroad, it is better. But I think we should promote local consumerism, because this is one way of helping each other to grow. And I think this is a subject that all of us should consider, that what are the benefits of buying local compared to buying foreign? And when we buy local, would we be spending more, or would we be spending more when we buy foreign? Whatever it is, I am one that would promote local consumerism, because this is one way of, I don't want to, well, this is one way of supporting our local consumers, our local manufacturers. And so this is one way of helping us to grow and appreciate what we have made here. Now, I'd like to give you one example. I would not buy any other syrup but maple syrup. Mr. Table Topics Master.
Thank you very much, Hepta. Angie, would you be able to evaluate Hepta?
Yes, of course. Thank you, Mr. Table Topic Master. And thank you, Hepta, for the great answer you gave. First of all, you started by repeating the question, by answering. You said, yes, I think it's more ethical to buy locally. Thank you for the answer, because it's a question that was open for two types of answer. Either you can buy outside of the country or outside of your local zone, or you can buy directly in your local zone. You gave us an answer that was very detailed. You told us why it could help people around us, the industry and factories around us. You also gave us a great example, which was maple syrup, one of my favorite syrup. So this is a good way to invite us to think about our local products that we offer in Canada, or if you want to say Quebec. Also, Hepta, thank you for inviting all of us to ask ourselves questions. Would it be better for us to consume here or outside of here? You gave us more explanation about your answer, and you offered us the possibility to think twice about even your answer and the question that our Table Topic Master proposed us. So I would suggest you to keep on giving great answers like that. And I return control back to you, Mr. Table Topic Master.
Thank you very much, Angie, for closing that wonderful table topic session with such a great evaluation. I want to say thank you to all the Rotarians for playing fair game and trying it out. It's really not an easy exercise, and it's one of the things that we're all super shy about, getting put on the spot. And you all answered the question, didn't shy away from it. That was really impressive. Thank you all. I hope this gave you a little bit of a glimpse of what we do at our meeting during that session. I will now return control of the meeting to our Toastmaster, Dennis Chau.
Thank you, Charles. Thank you. Well, I'm so excited to cover the last segment of this meeting. As the current president of the Westmount Toastmaster Club, I have something for you, especially for future members of the Westmount Toastmaster Clubs. But just before we start, how many of you think I will try selling you something this afternoon? Put up your hands. Well, you will not be disappointed. Actually, I'm not going to try to sell you something. I am going to sell you something. I'm going to sell you on taking the action that you know you need to take in order to become an outstanding public speaker. I'm going to sell you on avoiding mistakes that eventually will happen during your next important presentation. I'm going to sell you on paying attention to details that you know are essential for you to be a better active listener. I'm going to sell you on letting go of fear and excuses that limit your full potential to become a more successful leader. I am going to sell you on you. Now you all know what my intentions are. So let's learn a little bit more about the Westmount Toastmaster Club. There are so many Toastmaster clubs in Montreal, but why the Westmount Toastmaster Club? Well, not only because we're a neighbor located in the same city, but we also share the same building, the beautiful Victoria Hall. But more precisely, there are three core elements that define the identity of our prestigious club. First is excellence. Yes, our distinguished clubs where champions are being developed won countless awards because at Westmount Toastmaster Club, some of our members are excellent coaches, high caliber mentors, outstanding evaluators, and skillful proofreaders. And we have the acumen and savviness to help you develop a better version of who you want to become. And we are humble enough to not aim to be the best, but to be second to none. The second is supportive. Yes, we strive for excellence and we support and help and hold each and every member accountable. We're not here to tell you what to do or not to do. We're here to guide you so you can find your destination in the shortest and fastest way. At Westmount Toastmaster Club, we enjoy and we're delighted to see the growth, the transformation, and the changes of our members. And if you're committed to change, we are committed to nurture your success. And yes, the most important and the final core element is family. And we don't use the word family lightly, and you better believe it. At Westmount Toastmaster Club, our members are not numbers. It's not a community nor a group, but a family, a strong, united family where every week we gather together, we celebrate, we work together in a fun and joyful and safe environment. Now you probably, let me ask you, how much would you be willing to invest in yourself? How much would you pay for your own personal development? How much would you spend to enhance your communication skills? How much time would you invest to craft a skill that no one can take from you? What value would you give to surround yourself with people who will pull you up, lift you high, cheer, admire, and be proud of your changes? I want you to be true to yourself. And I want you to think if the Westmount Toastmaster Club is the right fit for you. I want you to attend one of our meetings and maybe join once and only when you have that clarity, that certainty about what you want for yourself. Because if you're ready to embrace the journey at its fullest, we are also ready to welcome you among us. So let me ask you, do you have any questions that we Westmount Toastmaster members could answer? please raise your hand.
Heather, actually, if you can unmute everybody, I think we'll, or if everybody can unmute themselves,
Yeah,
go right
they have
ahead.
to unmute themselves. Yeah, thanks.
How often do you meet?
We meet once a week. It's every Tuesday from 7 to 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Better be. Okay, how much are you going to charge us?
That's a good question. How much? Well, my question back to all of you, how much do you think by joining, well, let me ask you, how much do you spend for your own development usually? Jim, can you answer that usually? For how much do you spend for your own development?
Depends on what type, what part of my body I'm trying to develop.
If you're reading a book or if you're attending a class to learn something, how much would you spend? If you go to university, how much would you spend?
You're talking to
whatever
people.
Amount that you have in your mind, I can tell you it's a fraction of it. It's a fraction of it.
I would put it somewhere in there. Put somewhere in the area of a couple $100 a year. I don't know.
Yeah, approximately. But for what we're looking for, it's people to attend to our meetings, just to experience, to have fun, to listen, because we offer couple meeting, absolutely no commitment, so you can enjoy and attend to our club and see if it's the right fit for you. And after that, if you're ready, so we can set up a meeting and then talk about the price. But I'm telling you, it's under $1 a day.
Works for me.
Which means under $65 a year.
Any other questions from the gallery?
So how many of you will be attending our next meeting on Tuesday at 7 p.m.? Maybe, Charles, could you send a link for all our Rotarian members on the chat? And also,
I don't know if
the password
is the easiest way, Mr. Toastmaster, but I can send our email address, and you're more than welcome to contact me, and I will be sending you the agenda.
Yeah, that will be easier. I agree.
And you can send me the link, or send the link to well, Malcolm has the link, I guess, and we can send it out to the entire club.
That would be beautiful. Thank you very much, Jim. So if there's no questions, let me and allow me to return control to the president of the Rotary Club, Mr. Jim Fares. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dennis. I was upset. I was not upset. I was disappointed that the question about the duck and the horse didn't get forwarded to me. Because I've been thinking about ducks lately, because I know that out in California, with all the forest fires that they've been having over the last couple of years, it's been very, very difficult for the firefighters. But what they've done is they've started raising ducks to send them into the fires, and because they have fairly large webbed feet, and so they stamp out the flames. And then all you need the human firefighters for is to stamp out the flaming ducks. With that, I'm going to pass it over to David Franklin, and I would ask David to present our sincere thank yous to you. You there, David? David, can you unmute yourself?
David, as a reminder, yeah, okay.
Can you hear me, Jim?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I'm delighted to thank the Toastmasters. We had an incredible presentation by Dennis, Roberto, Hector, Joseph, and Charles. It's the first time in our club that we've had 5 outstanding speakers. I'm delighted for a second reason, is that many years ago, I was a Toastmaster and actually came second in Montreal. I think my skills of public speaking have decreased considerably when matched with the speakers that we had today. Public speaking is not only the message, but also how the message is conveyed. You'll notice that all of our speakers had voice modulation, facial expression, the use of the body, props, and hands, particularly the hands, all enhance the message. It's not only the voice, it's the whole being that makes it public speaking. Look at the difference between Trump and Obama. There's no comparison, not only the message, but also the style. And these skills that Toastmasters give to their members are being able to communicate more effectively is invaluable. Now, we too have an evaluation. It's called Jim, and he evaluates me. I think after hearing these speakers, he's going to give me 2 or 3 rather than his usual 7 or 8. I must say that if I was in a debate with Hepta, who's quite remarkable, I would have differed with her. I would have chosen foreign goods because I must confess that I always buy foreign oranges, bananas, grapefruit, dates, halva, all foreign. I never buy locally grown oranges. So we would have a debate, Hepta, but no doubt you would win. I have no doubt about that. Again, thank you for your incredible presentation, and I'm sure many of us will join you virtually on Tuesday. I will be one of them. Thank you.
Thank you very much, David. And I'm not sure, I think you're on, not only you're on the phone, you're on video today. So, because normally just for the Toastmasters information, I will hold up the number of fingers that I think that David is worthy of, but he's normally just on the phone, so he doesn't get to see. But today, I think we'll give him a...
Oh.
8, 9.
Almost, but not quite hardly, okay?
You see, Toastmasters, it's only a 9. One day, like you, it'll be 10.
There you go. Thank
Jim,
you to everybody.
Jim, one little comment.
Yes.
On Joseph's story of Saks Fifth Avenue and the men's room, which was Adam and Eve and the snake. I thought when the music came on for Handel's Hallelujah, in fact, it might have been a different music saying, Adam, you have the whole world in your hands. You have the whole world in your hands.
You're a dirty old man.
Yeah.
That's why he has so many girlfriends, I think. I'm not sure. Okay, everybody, we're going to wind ourselves up here. Duty assignments for next week are John Donovan. He's another one, unfortunately, that is having huge computer problems. That's why we haven't seen him in a couple of weeks. So I'll be sending out an official notice, but if we got people out there that would like to step in and take over the bulletin assignment every week, we desperately need you now. So please take that to heart. Upcoming meetings. Next week, we are going to be inviting and welcoming Nakuset, who is the leader of the Native Women's Shelter here in Montreal. If you're interested in hearing an outspoken speaker with a lot to say, this is a meeting I think that you will not want to miss. On the 27th of January, we have Dolly Dastour, who is going to be speaking to us about aging gracefully. So Olga, maybe you want to be there for that one. I don't know. Because now that you're exiting your 40s, you know, you might want to think about it.
Yeah, when I hit 50, I'll think about it.
Okay, good. 3rd of February, we have Adrian Bergovici, who is the founder and runner of Generations Charity. He and his wife have spent many, many years feeding school children in the West End area. And then on the 10th of February, we have Marlene Jennings, who is the new head of the Quebec Community Groups Network. So we've got some very, very interesting speakers coming up. And we're looking forward to hearing all of those people. Having said all that, our tenor is not with us today. So I have something lined up here for our anthem. And I'm going to wish everybody a lovely week. Please remember that the next person you meet could make a great Rotarian. And I guess the next person you meet could also make a good Toastmaster.
Yes.
So thank you to all of you for joining us.
Thank you.
Giving us a wonderful, wonderful insight as to what's going on. And to everybody, take care of yourselves, stay healthy, and enjoy those.
Point of information, Jim.
Yes.
If one of us wanted to attend one of your meetings to listen to one of these outstanding speakers that you're bringing in, what would be the routine to follow? How do we contact? How do we link?
Well, you can do you can make it real easy if you like, and Dennis can send me all of your emails, and I will put them onto our potential or onto our guest list, or simply send an email to me, which I will supply. Well, actually, I think Dennis has my email.
Yes, Jim's. I will coordinate with my members so we can. I can send you the information so
Excellent.
We can have the same list.
So you're welcome to join us anytime, Chris. And beware though, because we cost a little bit more than Toastmasters.
Do we get a free ride on the first visit?
Oh, you get a free ride for a long time. Don't worry. Yeah, if we see you coming back too often, what we'll do, we will voluntold you. We don't volunteer around here. We voluntold. So no, absolutely, everybody's more than welcome to come. Every week I send out an invitation to over 300 people. Yeah, our entire district. There's 75 clubs in our district, and every one of them gets invited to these meetings. As an example, today I didn't get a chance to introduce to Gerhard Peters, but he was in from Arnprior, Ontario. And we've had people from other countries join us. So by all means, I will wait for the list from Dennis. So much for my public speaking, but I think it's the wine talking now. At any rate, and so we're going to make sure that everybody gets a chance to come in here.
Thank you.
With that, as I said, everybody, please take care of yourselves. I'm going to share my screen now, and we are going to sing ourselves out. And don't worry, Susan, I'm going to remember to share the sound this week.